Are you kidding me, man? One of the kids in this film gets left alone and the first ever meal that he cooks for himself is a frittata. An actual frittata. I'm in my 20s and I live alone and I still can't figure out how to cook to save myself. Bad Moms, or as it's known in Glasgow, Bad Moz, is the latest from the writers of the Hangover trilogy, and it centres around a trio of overworked and underappreciated mothers who decide that enough is enough and to live a little. Some may argue a little bit too much, but that's up to you. First of all, this movie is all about the cast. I'll be honest with you, I don't really have too much to say that isn't about the cast or the characters. The lead trio, played by Mila Kunis, Kristen Bell and Kathryn Hahn, are all very funny, and it's the chemistry and interactions between them that keep the movie going. Kathryn Hahn especially is a highlight as the most rowdy of the trio, and Kristen Bell and Mila Kunis have a really difficult time keeping up with her mile-a-minute performance. Part of the plot involves Mila Kunis going up against Christina Applegate's character for the position of the head of the PTA, and this is where things get a little bit over the top. Applegate's pretty funny as the queen bee of the mean girl style mums, but she's more of a caricature than a real person, and the movie treats the PTA election like you're voting for the next president. I mean, seriously, there's like debates on podiums, and the characters had to give speeches to like hundreds of people at once, and I don't know about your school, but in mine, the PTA did nothing. There's also a handful of cameos that get some big laughs. Wanda Sykes shows up and gets what's probably the biggest laugh that is not a result of Kathryn Hahn, and The Wire's Wendell Pierce was a nice surprise as the head teacher of the school, but he's under the thumb of the PTA. Also, I'm pretty sure I saw Lily Singh make a brief appearance, and seeing as how I haven't really seen much of her content, I am really hoping that it was her and not another Indian actress, and I haven't just accidentally been horribly racist. I'm sure it is though, so well done on getting yourself into a Hollywood movie. YouTube represent. The kids that play Mila Kunis' kids are also pretty good. I mean, what is it with child actors in 2016? They used to be hands down the worst thing in the movies, but now they're getting good. I mean, look at Anjali Rice and The Nice Guys, Jacob Tremblay in Room, the entire cast of Stranger Things, all genuinely fantastic and engaging. And apart from the fact that a wee boy can rustle up a frittata, and I'm still trying to figure out where the water goes in a pot noodle, they are believable performers and not even slightly irritating, which, look, I know I said the bar low when it comes to child actors, but I do mean it as a compliment. The male characters in this movie though, what is going on there? Pretty much all of the adult male characters in this film are shown to be just lousy people. I mean, most of the characters in the film are too one-dimensional to begin with, but the men especially just seem to exist to give the women something to rebel against. Wendell Pierce's principal is shown to be incompetent at his job, doubly so for Clark Dew's character, who just so happens to be Mila Kunis' character's boss in a coffee company that is the embodiment of hipster shiteness. Kristen Bell's husband is practically a bully, and Mila Kunis's doesn't have two brain cells to rub together. The only guy that has any kind of competency as a person, let alone as a parent, is a single dad played by Jay Hernandez, which, by the way, that lovely man right there is El Diablo from Suicide Squad. He seems like a sweet, interesting character, and it's a shame that he's just reduced to how attractive he is. Wait, oh my god, I understand how women feel when they watch films now. To be honest, a film like this isn't really worth me spending too much time talking about it, as I'm not really his target audience. It's definitely more aimed at parents, and especially mums, and as a result, I didn't really relate to or connect with a few of the jokes. It's still funny and enjoyable overall, however, I think it's definitely more skewed towards the overworked mum crowd. You forget practically every joke and plot beat as soon as you leave the cinema, but it's a perfectly passable comedy and a decent way to kill an hour and a half. Its success lies almost entirely in its cast, and I think with a less talented lineup, the faults of the movie, such as the one-dimensional characters and the barely there plot, would have been a lot more obvious and detracting. I'm going to give Bad Moms 3 popcorns. I'm also ending this review with a public service announcement. Oi! Call your mum. she worries about you. This movie goes a long way to show you just how much your mum does for you without getting or expecting credit for it. And there's a lovely credit scene with the cast and their real mothers, so do us a favour, when you finish this video, phone your mum, say thank you, and let her know that she's done a decent job. Mum, I know you watch these stupid videos, so I'm just going to say it now. You really have done a decent...
These nuts. Got him! Got him!
Thanks very much for watching my review of Bad Moms. If you like this video and you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. If you and your friends are thinking of going to see this film, then share this review with them and maybe it will sway your decision. You can click the pictures below to see my 2 latest reviews, or you can subscribe to keep up with my content as I put them out. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.